So let's jump in with the Destiny stuff. You guys can fill me in full leaf, but from what I heard, a lot of Forsaken getting vaulted. Tangled Shore, pretty cool location, getting vaulted. Dreaming City, getting vaulted.
Dreaming City?
No.
Nope, Dreaming City gets to stay. Shattered Throne gets to stay.
Oh, really?
Here's what's getting vaulted specifically. I'll just
Oh,
go
yeah,
over the
hit
list.
me with it, because I think I misheard.
Tangled Shore, gone. But that does mean if the Tangled Shore is gone, the Forsaken campaign, which almost exclusively takes place in the Tangled Shore, that's going too. So that location is gone. Then random like year 4 content from this year is like going away. Like I don't think Overrides is staying, obviously. But interestingly, the Hawkmoon mission, like that, and then the Presage Dead Man's Tale mission, those are both going away as well. Battlegrounds
Really?
is,
Oh,
yeah.
that's such a great mission. I've really
I
enjoyed
know
that one.
I know people really like it. Battlegrounds is staying, and it's actually joining the Vanguard Strike playlist for like one playlist, which is kind of interesting because it kind of feels like a strike anyways. But those are the things that are going.
Which is, it's kind of crazy because that's another big, chunk of content that is gone that Destiny's had. And I understand that people might not interact with that content. But, like, if you look at all the things that they've lost, the amount of raids they've lost, the missions they've lost, they lost the entire Red War story, now the entire Forsaken story. People jumping in won't even know what's going on in the game, for one. But, like, there's a lot of cool, especially, like, the Presage mission. That is a great experience that they're not going to get to enjoy. It's just kind of surprising that they're getting rid of that content again. And,
well,
I don't know. I understand that it's like they need size or the game's getting too big. But if you look at Final Fantasy, Realm Reborn or like Final Fantasy 14 or whatever, they've got like tons of raids, tons of story. And maybe the game is really big, but I question why can they keep all that stuff in the game and never downsize, but Bungie has to?
Those games are so different.
Yeah.
Oh, those games are so different. Yeah, so file space, is not a 1-to-1 ratio from game to game. Some games can afford to have a wide variety of content, but that's because of the way that the game is coded, the way that it looks, the way that it plays. All those things are important factors for how much space these things take up. But not only that, but one of the things we do have to remember is it's not being killed permanently. It's being vaulted. Okay, so it may eventually come back. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If players love it and they want to experience it again, there's no saying that a year from now Presage might not come back. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing to consider. It may not be a permanent thing. It's just getting vaulted. Another thing to consider, the Forsaken campaign is 3 years old. It came out in 2018. This content, if you wanted to play it and you genuinely wanted to spend some time with it, you've had all the time in the world. They're going to make it free to play for a while, too. So,
starting in December.
We're going to let you know in advance that it's going away. But also, in between now and then, we're going to make it free to play. If you want to get in there, you haven't been able to experience the Forsaken content, you can get in there, try it out, and that's great. My son's playing through it right now. We're playing through it together because on his account, he doesn't have any. It's all just a free-to-play account. So, anyways, it's old content at this point, and I'm sympathetic to people saying I paid for it, I should be able to access it whenever I want it. I'm sympathetic to that, but one of the things you also have to remember is that it is specifically laid out in the terms of service that you agree to, that they say, when you pay for this, just understand it has an expiration date. It will likely not be around forever. And games, this is nothing new. Games often stop supporting content that is, 3 years old, stuff like that, because they got to be forward thinking on future projects. Also, these games that are live service games are constantly changing. So as the game changes, you have to retroactively go back and put in extra hours, retrofitting old content so that it makes sense with these new changes. You're just adding more work for Bungie. I'm more interested at this point in saying, just cycle out 3-year-old content if that's going to free up your time and capital to continue moving Destiny forward and progressing the game. That's where it sucks to lose that stuff. Let's move forward.
So that isn't the entirety of Genshin Impact. There's no it's every single thing that comes to the game leaves. So it's like I don't know. I guess the thing is do you want new stuff or do you want that old stuff?
Exactly. But here's the thing. This is what a lot of like streamers and stuff have said. Like, guys, no one's playing the campaign, which is true. Like, can't even remember the last time I played it. No one's really here. The Tangled Shore can go to make way for the Witch Queen's Throne World. This whole new area looks awesome. I feel like, in the end of the day, no one's going to miss the Tangled Shore that much. Here's where I am annoyed with Bungie. I feel like they didn't handle it that well. Here's the best example. If you go and check the price of Forsaken, it's the same price. Can someone explain how that makes sense? They just announced that the entire narrative part of the game was of that expansion is being removed, and they still want $30 for it. Like that doesn't make sense. And I feel like it would have made way more sense to say, "Hey, this is going away, but guess what? Because we're removing that from this day forward, Forsaken, $15, half off. We're taking away the entire narrative campaign. So obviously we can't charge the same amount." It's $15. Buy it now. You can still play through the campaign. Everyone who bought it for the last 2 months because you didn't know about this announcement, we're giving you a free 2,000 silver, right? Because someone like bought Forsaken the day before this announcement and is like, are you kidding me, right? Like that guy is pissed, and rightfully so. It's like, how long did Bungie know that they were going to take away Tangled Shore? I feel like announce it a year in advance. Announce it as far ahead of advance as possible so you let people get annoyed out early and then people can make the informed decisions, right? Because that is the kind of annoying thing is like people were buying Forsaken. People are still buying Forsaken who don't pay attention to the TWABs and stuff and have no idea it's going away. That is what I don't like. And again, they're paying full price. It doesn't make any sense to me that they're still charging the same before and after this announcement. It's literally losing content.
Well, yes and no, but
no, yes.
I mean,
it's yes.
But here's the thing. Now I understand that, but when I go to the grocery store and there's jugs of milk there, the price tag on the jug of milk that expires in 3 days is the same price tag as the jug of milk that expires in a week.
But here's the problem.
If you're going to consume... No.
I will destroy your stupid example right now.
Hold on. At least let me finish.
Okay.
Video game content, especially that follows a seasonal model, is often viewed as consumable content, as in it has an expiration date. This is not new. If you intend to consume that product, even if I buy it today at $30, that product still is, we've said it a million times, that's probably one of the best DLCs in the history of Destiny, right? That product is still really rich and valuable. And so if they're going to experience it, if they are going to consume that from start to finish, I think it's still worth that price tag. I don't disagree with you that they could have been maybe a little bit more early on the announcement. I'm not disagreeing with you there. But I think it is important to remember that content like this is viewed as consumable content, and it is explicitly shown as that when you buy it.
Fair enough. But in your very own example, you said you saw the expiration date. This example would be like you buy a jug of milk and there's no expiry date, and then randomly someone comes to your door and goes, knock, 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 by the way, the milk expires tomorrow. Drink up, bitch. Like, that's literally the same thing. There's no expiry. Like, Bungie keeps us guessing until the last moment. There's no reason they couldn't have announced this earlier. Like, they knew Tangled Shore was going away before this announcement. I guarantee they probably knew, like, earlier in the year what had to go away. So I feel like announce it sooner and give people the chance to make that informed decision. Because guess what? A lot of people maybe bought Forsaken just because they wanted to maybe play the campaign. Now, it's like, well, why don't they just wait for when it's free to play? They might not buy the expansion then, right? Or, like, I just feel like, don't, like, kind of almost, like, announce it, like, oh, by the way, in the last season, like, in the last part of the year, give people the foresight to make an informed decision. Again, notice that I'm not saying that stuff shouldn't go away. I'm not saying that Bungie doesn't have a good reason to remove stuff. I'm just saying handle this whole announcement process better. Like, after Witch Queen say, listen guys, Nessus is next on the chopping block. You have a whole year with Nessus, be aware. I feel like that would go over so much better than like, yeah, in a few months, it's gone. See ya, idiots. Oh, it's the same price, by the way. See ya.
Well, up to a certain point, then it's going to be free to play. But sure, but also, how long does it take to consume that content? Are you seriously going to take, 6 to 12 months to comb your way through the Forsaken?
It's not about that. It's like, let people make that decision. Like, let people have the foresight and the knowledge to make that decision for themselves.
Is several months in advance notice not enough notice for that foresight?
I don't know, man. Like, people are buying it all the time. People are going to buy it in Christmas. Like, again, people don't pay attention to these announcements. Like, unless you're going on Bungie.com or specifically watching, like, a video on it, you're never going to know. Is there even an in-game pop-up that tells you it's going?
I don't know. I mean, maybe there is. I'm not sure.
I haven't noticed one.
That'd be a good thing to
That would
implement,
be a
for
good
sure.
thing. That's what I'm saying. I feel like this announcement can be handled better. Make it a celebratory thing. Reduce the price. Tell people further in advance. Like, all of that stuff. I feel like that's very reasonable. Bungie's making absolute bank. They can afford to discount a 3-year-old expansion. Because your point, yeah, you're right. It's 3 years old. Who's playing it? Okay, so why is it still $30?